What's going on, guys? Cliff and Denny with On Your Own Outdoors. Hey guys, so it's been, I don't know, man, since hunting season started, so it's been a month or so since we've done a stand review, and I apologize for that, but stands started getting harder to get our hands on, and obviously, man, y'all know me, like I'm just like all the rest of you, I want to be in the woods. So anyways, one of the stands that guys have been requesting, I've had like 4 or 5 requests come through on it, is the API Supreme. And so let me tell you now, before I even get to the stand itself, this is probably my most favorite API. It's light, comparatively speaking to an API stand. It is a light stand. So this stand comes in at 18.5 pounds. It's got a weight capacity of 300. So a big boy could hunt out of this stand if he wanted to. So let's go ahead and start on the review, right? Let's get it going. So number one, the first thing that you know I'm gonna beat up on, because I do every time. It does not pack light, but with the fact that it doesn't pack light, it's still not very heavy. So I think it'll be all right. But so that's the first thing. The next thing that I do like, it has the smaller foot platform. I like that. I don't like a whole bunch of room up there. I kind of feel like it's wasted space a lot with some of these bigger stands. We'll go ahead and talk about the top while we've got it down. So the top has a shooting rail. Wind decided to start to blow. So the top does have a shooting rail, but it is what it is. I like the open shot style a little bit better, but you can make do with this. It's perfectly fine, especially with the design of the seat on this stand, which you're going to see once we get it on the tree here in a minute. So the next thing, just before we get it on a tree, you can see here it's got the pull pins. One cool thing they do with the pull pins on this is they have like some kind of shrink wrap material on it, so it kind of keeps them quiet. They've got the chain, sound like a chain gang going through the woods, but I will say, just like the last API that we did, this plastic is kind of shrink wrapped on there, so there's not a whole bunch of noise. So again, as far as APIs go, this is probably one of my favorite ones. Let's talk about what all it comes with. All right, so it's got a little bag that you can put stuff in, but the stuff that it comes with, I'm not going to put on the stand for the review purpose. You can look at the picture, figure it out pretty easy. First things, it comes with 2 straps, shoulder straps. Cool thing about these straps, if you can see there, they're padded, so that's a huge plus. Next thing, it's got just a normal little rope. This rope's to tie your top to your bottom, so if you slip, trip, whatever while you're in the tree, you don't lose your bottom. You've got your little strap here that goes behind your feet. Again, listen guys, I'm not gonna put this on here. There's 3 other APIs on my page. If you wanna know how your foot straps go on, by all means, go click on one of the other API stands and it'll give you a step-by-step on how to use these. The next thing that we've got, so again, I talk about this in all my videos, safety is becoming a huge aspect when it comes to these climbers, and companies wanting to make sure you're as safe as possible. So you've got these little pull straps. Basically what these are for, then you got a ratchet strap here. So basically what these are for, when you get your stand on the tree, you can see these 2 little holes here. If you get up there, and it's the time that I would suggest use these guys, if you get on a tree that's a real hard bark tree and you can tell that when you're moving you're getting kind of a little play out of that stand, you can go ahead and take that cinch strap, put it on there and tighten it up, and it's just going to give you an extra sense of security while you're up in the tree. And that's just one less thing to worry about while you're up there. The other thing that it comes with for you new guys, if you're just getting into hunting out of a climber, it does come with a safety harness. These safety harnesses, guys, aren't going to be the most comfortable. They're not going to be the most durable. They're not going to be the quietest. But in a pinch, again, sense of security, they come with one. So it's just a little bit more bang for your buck. So yeah, you got that as well. So I think I'm going to quit talking and get it on this tree. So I'm doing this on lunch break at work, so I was kind of limited to trees. So this tree that we have here, obviously it's not very big around, but that's one thing I wanted to talk about this API. So this API is the way that it's designed. Whenever it comes back towards the tree, there you go. When it comes back towards the tree, it dips back in. You can see that here on both sides. You can also see that back here. So it gives more of like that V shape. And so guys, when you're out and you're looking for a climber, right? You don't know anything about climbers. You haven't watched any of the videos. This is your first one. You need to look at the way the top of these stands are designed before buying one. And the reason that I say that is say that you're hunting in big bottoms and big trees are what you need to get on. Well, I'm gonna be honest with you, you can't beat a summit. A summit to get on a tree is big around as the front end of a truck, seems like. These ones that kind of dip back in like this, where I hunt at, smaller trees are kind of a thing. So yeah, I kind of look for that V. That V that's going to be on the top is going to give you the accessibility to get on a smaller diameter tree and still be able to get everything all tight so it's not all wobbly. So that's extremely important whenever you're kind of looking into a climber. The only other thing while we've got it, you do have the straps that are the covering that come on the side. Again, I'm going to go ahead and give API a shout out here. These are Velcro, so they're super easy to remove and wash. I like to wash everything that comes with my stand before I ever take it in the woods because, like everything else, it smells brand new, right? So I'm excited to show you the seat on this stand because it is probably my favorite one so far as a fully wrapped around stand. So let's go ahead and get this thing on the tree. So one thing that we always talk about, right? Top goes on first. All right, guys, so one thing that we always talk about when you're getting your stand hung on a tree. Now, obviously, this tree is extremely small, and I don't know if you can see it there, but I've got limbs probably 12 foot up, maybe 10 foot up, so I can't go very high. But one thing you need to remember whenever you're putting your stand on the tree, probably the biggest, the biggest thing that gets new hunters is the angle of your stand. So for the purpose of this video, obviously, I'm going to keep this stand So for the purpose of this video, I'm going to keep this stand pretty flat because I want you to see what I'm actually doing. So remember guys, the bigger your tree is at the base and the smaller it gets as you go up is going to dictate how much of an angle you need on your stand when you put it on the bottom. You never want to set your stand just straight flat, knowing that as you go up your tree's going to get smaller in diameter because you're going to end up at the top and have kind of that nose down effect. So I always put my top on first. I like to hang it up there. Again, we talk about it in all the videos. I like to put it up there about head high to get it up out of my way. Next thing we're gonna do is the bottom. As you can see with this bottom, exactly what we were talking about a while ago, with that kind of V shape up top. So I've got the cables not pushed all the way in, but pretty much all the way in. And you can see how small that is. So that just lets you know, you can get on a smaller tree. So again, I'm going to leave this one pretty flat for the purpose of doing this video. I'm not going to actually, put it at an angle to go up. I'm going to leave it pretty flat. All right, so now we've got it on a tree. One thing I do like about it is you can kind of see the low profile that it puts off. It's not real big. It's not real bulky. So I like the aspect of that as well. All right, so to get into this stand, what I like to do with these APIs, because most of them have these foot rails, is I kind of push that up out of my way, grab up here, kind of just pull yourself in and get nestled inside. So I'll take the foot rail, push it back out. One thing that a lot of guys are going to like about this stand is it gives you the availability to sit down while you're climbing, so you can kind of sit, kind of climb up. Now we're going to talk about the cool thing about this seat. So when you're climbing, this stand gives you the availability to sit up here on the front, and also the seat flips up out of your way. Now we're going to talk about the cool thing about this seat. So when you're climbing, this stand gives you the availability to sit up here on the front, and also the seat flips up out of your way. So why is that important? So when you're climbing with the traditional stand that's got your seat that kind of slides back and forth, a lot of times your knees will get up in it, but with this, it folds up out of your way. You can grab your stand, and come on up your tree. One thing that you notice is the stand's pretty quiet. It climbs super quiet. It's got nice teeth. It hooks in really well. So, I want to talk about this seat and why I like it so much. So, I talk about this in all my stands. If you're going to be gun hunting, you can leave a bigger gap, but if you're bow hunting, I like to have my rails about the knee height. So for bow hunting, API was most certainly thinking about bow hunters when they made this. So you see this seat and how high it keeps you up. So you still get the sense of security of having the arm rail. However, you're sitting up high. Why is that important? The reason that that is important is, say that a deer comes in and you're not going to be able to stand up, or you're one shot sitting down. When you sit up high in one of these stands, they have a seat design where you don't hang. You're sitting up high. You can reach over. You can kind of spin this way, and it gives you that availability to be able to shoot over this arm rail. So this stand is extremely beneficial for the guys that like the sense of security, but they're also going to bow hunt. The sense of security on a lot of the stands is great unless it's a sit and climb. With the sit and climbs, you kind of have the same option. But with the other stands, the sense of security is great, especially if you're not used to climbing a climber. However, when you sit down low inside of those stands, you lose your opportunity to shoot while sitting down. Well, with this design and the way that the seat is up here and it's flush with your shooting rail, it gives you the availability to sit down and still be able to take those shots while you're sitting down in a, you know, secure filling environment, if you will. So there's that. Again, say we're going to climb down, just fold that seat right up out of the way. I've got my footrest folded out of the way. Just kind of grab a hold of it, stretch my legs out. I'm still sitting on the outside of it, and then I would come to here. To go on down, obviously I'm at the base of the tree. To go on down, I'd bring this down about 2 foot, sit back down where I'm at a comfortable 90-degree angle, hook my feet, and go on down. So, super awesome. So let's talk about some pluses and some minuses. We always talk about the minuses first because we like to end on a positive note, right? I like to have a smiling face at the end of it. So, number one for me, I'm always going to say this every time. The availability to pack flat is a huge thing to me. This stand does not give you that option. It doesn't pack flat. Why does that matter? The more that's sticking off your back, the more weight you're going to get, the more of this you're going to get when you're walking through the woods. So that's the one knock that I have on it. The only other knock that I actually have on this whole stand at all are the pull pins. I'm not a pull pin guy. Look, I know in some of the other videos, the guys are like, flip your pins upside down. Completely understand. But I want you to check this out. So I understand whenever guys are like, flip your pins upside down so you're not hitting them. There's not an option. You cannot flip these pins upside down because of where they clip to. So because of where the welds are on this stand and the support brackets come up, you don't have the availability to flip those pins upside down. Now, with this stand, the pins are pretty far back, so the likelihood you're going to hit them is probably pretty slim. But the likelihood you're going to do this is pretty high. I don't know if you heard that. I'm sure you did. Here, let's do it again. That's me undoing that clip. So say that you get to your tree and it's before daylight. You look at it and you're like, I'm good to go. This is where I want it set at. And you clip your pin. A, it's going to be dangling and clanging, you know, the whole time. And then you get it set and you're like, oh crap, I need more of an angle. So you lean it back up and you pop that thing, you're gonna get that noise. So yeah, two negatives: doesn't pack flat, and the pull pins. Now, you can make your own stuff, right? I'm not telling you to. I'm not telling you to change the way the stand comes. But I do have a couple of old stands that, one is an API, it's the open shot kind. And what I did is I took a long bolt with a wing nut on the end of it, and that's what I use. That keeps the rattling down to a minimum. I've got plastic washers on both sides of it. I can stick that bolt through, spin that wing nut down, and I feel comfortable with that. So there's you an option. If you really like this stand but you don't like the pull pins, get you a bolt and a wing nut and a couple plastic washers. You can take care of that. So let's go to the pluses, because I feel like there's a whole lot more pluses with this stand than there are minuses. Huge plus, 18.5 pounds. If you know anything about API, they knocked it out of the park. They cut half their stand weight down. No, I'm serious though. 18.5 pounds is not a lot, especially for a stand that has the full bar on the front. Usually when you get to those stands that have that security bar, them numbers start bumping up a little bit, right? Because there's just more metal. This stand is aluminum, so that's, you know, one of the ways they're able to keep it down, I'm sure. So I like the bar. It is what it is. And you're never going to hear me say that except right now. The only reason I like the bar is because of the seat design. With that seat being able to sit up high like that, the bar really doesn't mean anything to me anymore, because I can still lean over the top of it and shoot. I'm good to go. So I like the fact that it's lightweight. I like the fact that it has a smaller foot platform. As you can see, even having a size 12, I had enough room, but there's not a whole bunch of extra stuff. And what I call those extra inches on a platform is just extra weight. I'm probably not going to use that extra room on there anyway, so I'm just toting extra weight. So the smaller profile, the smaller platform is a huge plus. The bar and the seat design knocked it out of the park. I think it's outstanding. So yeah, guys, that's all I got for this API Supreme. I think it's a great option. For rifle hunting, you're probably going to want something else if you'd like to have a rest, because this is most certainly not made for that. I feel like this stand was made for the bow hunter that wants that extra sense of security. So hey guys, I appreciate you for watching. We've got a couple more stands coming up here pretty quick. I apologize for the break in the stand reviews. Like I said, just got harder to get our hands on, so it is what it is. Everything's on back order. But yeah, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit the little bell up top, because you never know when we're going to get out here and get our hands on something else to review. And yeah, guys, I'm fixing to head back to the woods. So I appreciate you guys for watching. We'll see you later this week. Good hunting. I hope everybody's season's going great. And if it's not, give me a call. Maybe I can put you in a tree. Good hunting, guys.